Hello, everyone, and welcome to Super Metroid 100% three-person co-op. I am Jay Chalk, and I am exceptionally excited for this run. We have for you, this is Kuru, mm2nescartridge, and rkctkc, some of the best co-op runners in the world. Definitely looking forward to this. If you're new to co-op, then you are going to be in for a treat. This is vanilla. It uses a program called Multitroid, and all runners are going to share items, share energy, and share use of items. It's going to be action-packed, exciting. It's exceptionally dangerous from the get-go because when your team member takes damage, you take that same amount of damage. So if you imagine 3 runners sharing 100 health, that can get pretty tricky. So we're going to get started. Let's go. So as you see, we start off in series. Only one person, usually in co-op, stays at the elevator, and then the other person goes to Ridley. But we're at 3-person co-op, so actually 2 people are going to Ridley to damage themselves down quicker, and you're going to see rkctkc stick at the elevator because the moment that the escape sequence kicks in, RK is going to be able to immediately leave and go to Zeebs. All right, so we're going to see Kuru and mm2nescartridge take a very specific amount of damage, and that's going to trigger the escape sequence. And you guys get to see the first cool piece of Multitroid, and that is that we share health. And you're going to see RKC immediately leave right there. That right there is what is exciting about this, because that's going to send RK to Zeebs, and they're going to be able to start picking up items. Each runner is going to be designated to an area of the game. So you'll see one runner doing Meridia, another one doing Lower Norfair, and some other runners doing cleanup. I think the coolest part of their route is early on. You'll see runners skip the initial part of areas, and then the runners that are lagging behind will clean up the areas. As you can see, RKC is already landing here and is going to be heading down and is going to be picking up the morph ball, which is going to allow our other runners on the left here to progress. So RK is going to be heading through the parlor here, and we see our 2 runners on the left here. They're still flying to the planet. We have a runner here already on the planet and is going to be making their way, picking up morph ball. And this is one of the most exciting moments of this, is when you pick up that morph ball, your partners, they're going to have that morph ball immediately. And I think that's one of the coolest things about this program is it just allows you to experience Metroid in a different way. You're going to see Kuru head to the left and wait by the wall, while MM2 is going to sit right here. And they're both waiting for a morph, but Kuru is waiting for both morph and bombs. So that morph is going to allow MM2 to come on down. As you can see, we're sharing these items, and we're going to pick up our first missile pack at the Awakening Missiles, which is going to allow MM2 to pick up the bombs, which is going to allow Kuru to continue on through the map. This is 100%, so we're going to be collecting all items in the game, and you're going to notice it's going to be significantly quicker than you would normally with a single person. There's the bombs. Kuru is going to be able to head on through, and we're going to now open this up. This actually right here is where it can get pretty scary. So again, as you saw, Kuru took that hit. They're at 94 across the board. All right, 74. And so this is going to make it a little bit more complicated for MM2 to have a successful bomb chorizo fight, because when you have damage done, the bomb chorizo boss likes to throw health instead of ammo. Also, something that if you notice about the layout, if you look down at the bottom right-ish, you actually get to see where our runners are in relation to each other. So Kuru already making their way down into Green Brinstar. Meanwhile, RKC is going to be able to do some cleanup down here at Mother Brain. Something you'll notice Kuru do here is Kuru is going to go in, grab the early supers, and immediately leave, leaving all of these extra items here for the other runners to clean up on their way through. RK is making their way up the climb, and MM2, both MM2 and Kuru skipping that E-tank there. RK is going to pick that up on their way down. This is going to be a very, very high action-packed, super fast. I'm going to try and keep up the pace with it as much as possible. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them as best as possible. We got some more cleanup here by RKC. Something you're also going to see Kuru do here. Kuru, again, is just going to fly right through here because, again, we have very specific items that we need to pick up to make this as quick as possible, mainly power bombs. We want to get some suits in here. We're going to see some really exciting tricks, at least on the middle screen. MM2 is also going to rush right through and go up Red Tower. Kuru is going to head down and take on Kraid to get that various suit for MM2's attempt at Fantoon. We also have RKCT. So RK is really the backup man here. He's going to go through. He's going to do all the cleanup that our two runners on the left are skipped. Because again, these two runners, Kuru and mm2nescartridge, they're exceptionally important because MM2 is going to go up and get those much needed power bombs. He's going to CWJ over to Wreck Ship, take out the first boss, while Kuru is also taking out a boss in Kraid. Both runners on the left are skipping items. RK is doing cleanup. Very well planned. They're talking to each other. They're thinking about how much health they have, how much ammo they have, what they can use, where they can use it, because you don't want to be put in a situation where three runners are taking a hit at the exact same time, because it will kill you. We're coming up on one of the most dangerous sections of the game. MM2 is about to go through Hellway, which has some vile plumes, which if you fall inside can do quite a bit of damage, whilst also taking damage from everything else from the other runners. RK picking up this reserve tank and a couple missile packs in the back of Green Brinstar Reserve. MM2 is going to be picking up that power bomb. These are the alpha power bombs. Very nice damage boost. And we're going to be seeing our very first boss fight on Kuru's side. That's the left screen. Nice damage boost, gets out the eye. And just as said, RK going to be doing the cleanup here. And let's see if Kuru can pull off the Kraid quick kill. Looks like they're going to do a missile 3 super strat. There's the missile. There's the 3 supers. Very nicely done. That's a Kraid quick kill. We bypassed Kraid standing up, breaking through the ceiling, saving a bit of time. And there we go. Various suit. For all 3 runners, you're going to see all 3 runners change colors here. And there they are, all 3 runners rocking the orange suit. Another super missile there. RK doing the cleanup of the basement into Pink Brinstar. We're going to see a full cleanup of the Pink Brinstar here from RKC. Meanwhile, Kuru is going to make their way down to Upper Norfair, pick up high jump boots, and continue on to the rest of Bubble Mountain. So what's Ness doing here is they're going to be setting up for a CWJ. What's really nice is they have Moonwalk, which is going to allow them to set up inside the room, saving 2 extra door transitions. You see Ness setting up the Moonwalk inside the door. It's a 1-frame trick into a 2-frame trick. So basically you have 1 frame to get a jump from the left side, and then you have exactly 2 frames to get the jump off of the other off the platform here. And it's a very difficult trick. MM2 having a few attempts here at it. Meanwhile, RKC going to be making their way into Pink Brinstar here to clean up the rest of those areas that the MM2 and Kuru skipped on the way in. MM2 having a bit of an issue. That's okay. This is a very, very difficult trick, especially when you're under pressure. And that's it right there. Nicely done. Let's go. Pog champs in chat. RK going to the back of Mission Impossible here to pick up these power bombs here. Meanwhile, MM2 going across the ocean, going to be taking on our second boss in Fantoon. Thankfully, we have now 4 tanks, various suit, and quite a few missiles. So this is going to be a relatively easy fight, but not to be taken lightly because, again, Fantoon can do quite a bit of damage. And if you're taking damage and everyone else is taking damage, that's something that you have to be very cautious about. There is a high jump boot pickup for all 3 runners, thanks to Kuru. Going to pick these final 2 items up here. Meanwhile, MM2 getting those missiles to the left in Wreck Ship. Going to be heading down, paying the Elephant Ghost a visit. And in regards to damage being taken, there's not a lot of damage that'll be had on the left side and right side screens, which is perfect for MM2. As long as our runners, keep track of where their enemies are at, give MM2 an opportunity here not to take too much damage as well. And so RK just pulled off a trick called the Wavegate glitch. Basically what RK did is, with the use of those high jump boots, they jumped and shot a super at a very specific spot, and it actually clipped through to open the gate from the wrong side. You're supposed to use Wave Beam to open this gate, but we don't have Wave Beam yet. And no Charge Beam, so that's a question in chat. So basically, our first 2 runners, Kuru and mm2nescartridge, were thrown into a very specific route. Kuru directly to Kraid to get to get various suit, and then Upper Norfair to get all these extra movement items. mm2nescartridge up to get those alpha power bombs, and to defeat Fantoon, because we need that gravity suit and the various suit as quickly as possible. RKC, meanwhile, is doing all of that cleanup of all of the items that these 2 runners skipped. So as you just saw, we just picked up Charge Beam, and look at this timing. Look at this wonderful timing. Kuru picking up Speed Booster just in time for RKC to do a short charge to spark through to get Waterway E-Tank. Very well done. Meanwhile, MM2 has dispatched the Elephant Ghost and is going to be heading and doing a full clear of Wreck Ship. So we'll see MM2 in the back here picking up these super missiles, going to the right, picking up those super missiles. We'll be picking up an E-Tank at Wreck Ship and some couple missile packs and a reserve tank. Meanwhile, while MM2 is doing a full Wreck Ship clear, we're going to see a lot of clearing from rkct and Kuru. We're going to get enough items to make our way to send our runners into Lower Norfair and Meridia. We're also going to see quite a few runners do some cleanup in Meridia as well, while one runner is rushing to kill Dragon. Because the purpose of this is we want to get all 4 bosses down. We don't have to have all of the items collected, but we want to ensure that all the bosses are down so we can get MM2 into Turian as quickly as possible. While MM2 is doing Turian, doing Mother Brain, doing all the things that they need to do in Turian, oh my goodness, an RKC gets the spike suit. This is huge, actually. That is not an easy trick. That is going to allow RKC to do a Shine Spark all the way across Gauntlet. Watch this, watch this. Boom! Let's go! That is awesome. Okay, so now look at this. This actually saves a significant amount of time over what they would initially have done, and that was they were just going to run across, take a bunch of spike damage, damage that they cannot really take at this instant because there's not a lot of spots to heal at this current moment. So that was big time spike suit and pulling it off to spike across the X-ray right there. Question in chat, do they all have to escape? Technically, yes, in a way. So everyone has to at least make it to the ship before the time runs out. So as I was pointing out, MM2 is our Turian runner. They're going to be running through Turian. We want to kill the bosses as quickly as possible. Doesn't mean we have to collect every item yet, but we want to get our runner into Turian as quickly as possible. And then, while we are going through Turian, the other two runners are, as quickly as possible, doing cleanup on the items that our other runners did not pick up. So they are constantly talking to each other. In fact, we could possibly even see mid-game route changes based on where the other runners are. And that's important because sometimes things don't work out for the other runner, right? To have a perfect run from all three runners would be amazing, but sometimes it doesn't work out. So it just might be that, hey, I didn't quite get to this item in time. I'm going to reroute this way. You can pick up this item. They're always talking, right? They're considering their health, their ammo, their route, where they're at. We got MM2 bowling, going to be picking up the missile in the back and the reserve tank as well. We also got Kuru heading down to face Crocomire. This is going to be a full clear of Crocomire's lair, while RKC gets a very nice jump into... Now, this is kind of interesting. RKC was doing a suitless Meridia entrance here, waiting on that gravity suit, and there gets the gravity suit, saving a little bit of time. Typically, MM2 would have already been there and had the gravity suit in hand. However, MM2 was having a little bit of an issue with the CWJ, but they have backups on backups on backups. So even though RKC didn't have that gravity suit when they would normally expect it to be there, RKC was able to utilize other tech to get through Meridia until the gravity suit was in hand, and I think that's pretty incredible. It just goes to show how much chemistry these three runners have and how they're able to come up with these extra strats on the fly. And this is very much scripted out to be MM2, to be in Turian. The likelihood of that changing is pretty low, but it's possible. If something is completely off with someone's route, it's possible that they might send another runner to Turian. But the way that this is scripted out, the way that they have their routes planned, it's very much going to be an MM2 Turian, while the other two on the sides clean up. Something you're going to notice here is rkctkc is just going to head directly to Dragon here, again, because we want MM2 in Turian as quickly as possible. The other runners can clean up. So MM2 is going to head down and pick up the super missile that they initially had skipped. Again, this probably would have been something that they picked up initially, right? But they were pretty far behind because of their CWJ that they needed to get up to get that gravity suit as quickly as possible. Now they can use this extra time that they have to pick up the super missile that they initially skipped. The estimate on this is 40 minutes. The world record currently is a 29:44, I believe. The runners in front of you have a 33:20, I believe. So the distance between world record and their run is not too far away, but definitely some of the best co-op runners in the world. It takes a very interesting skill set to do co-op because you have to have really good communication skills. You have to have really good impulse control because a lot of the times, if you're going to do something that might end up killing everyone, it's something that you really have to consider before you do it. All right, so RK going to be heading to Dragon, going to be our third boss. Meanwhile, Kuru is going to be making their way right out of this area into Lower Norfair. Yeah, the current world record is done by some of the, not only the best 100% runners in the world, but just straight out some of the best runners in the world. And so it's a pretty amazing run. All right, M2 picked up that E-Tank in Wreck Ship 4-player co-ops have definitely been attempted. However, they're not recognized on the leaderboards, at least yet. As promised, Kuru going to be heading down into Lower Norfair. RKCT pulling off an X Factor into a Shine Spark. Gonna finish him off with a grapple kill. Very, very quick kill with the grapple. Just like that, Dragon's dead. And if you notice, Dragon's not off the tracker yet, but they are only 20 minutes into this race, this run, and they already have 3 bosses down. So now it's just up to Kuru, who's going to pull off... Well, actually, it's elected to wait. They could have done a gravity jump, which is what they were going to do, but elected to just wait for the space jump and was able to jump up just like that. So now the question is, what's left? Well, we have a lot of Meridia cleanup. We have a bit of Lower Norfair left to do. So that's what Kuru is going to be doing right now. But the cleanup right now is going to be on RKCT side. MM2 is going to be heading over to clean up the rest of what they need to clean up. So particularly the Billy Mays, as well as Tower Supers. And yes, my name is Jay Chalk. I am commentating this 3P 100% co-op, and I'm very happy that I was asked to do this because this is truly an exciting run to both watch and do yourself. Like, if you guys are out there, you love Super Metroid, oh my gosh, I highly recommend doing this because it's just so fun to play a game that we all love and enjoy, but to play it with your friends, like something that you would never have dreamed of doing when this first came out. Like, you just could not imagine playing this co-op, actually sharing items, sharing health, sharing progress. It's so cool. All right, so MM2 doing cleanup here on the construction zone, getting those power bombs, and is now going to go and pick up Billy Mays. And I'll explain why it's called Billy Mays here in a moment. And there's a plasma beam for Kuru. Now, here's something interesting. So in their PB, and typically in standard runs for these 3, you typically have that plasma beam before you fight GT. However, there were some differences in timing for routes, and so Kuru was unable to acquire this plasma beam, so it was forced to use supers there, which was a little bit slower. So here's Billy Mays. We have a missile pack, but wait, there's more. Boom, another missile pack. So that's why it's called the Billy Mays. And that's it for cleanup for MM2. RK, meanwhile, is going to do a reverse route back to Botswoon E-Tank, and then it's going to take one of the sand pits, clear those out, go and get Spring Ball, and now from here on out, it's just a matter of cleaning up a little bit of what we were unable to get previously. Kuru heading through the Coliseum. The amphitheater. This is one of the more dangerous rooms, especially if you don't have space jump. If you get hit by one of these pirates and fall down into the acid does such a nasty amount of damage. So this will be the final item MM2 is going to pick up down here in Retro Brinstar. This is available for randomizer as well. In fact, just the other day, I attempted a 6-person randomizer. It's very much possible. You could do multi-world, where all the items are randomly placed in between everyone's game, or you could just do a strict co-op where everyone shares items in a rando. There's lots of things you can do with Multitroid. It's a pretty fantabulous program. Shout outs to the developers of this one, because it's really awesome. All right, RKC is going to be visiting quite possibly my favorite creature in this entire game. This is Shacktool. You'll see them in just a bit. They are a beautiful, selfless creature that takes time out of their day to clear a path to the best item in the game. I don't mean that as a meme. I legitimately believe Spring Ball is quite possibly the best item in the game. It is extremely versatile as a movement item, and all of the different tech that you can pull off with it, from spring ball jumps, spring ball jumping and both in water and out of water, double spring jumping to get out of Dragon. Just a lot of really cool tech with it. It's an exceptional item. All right, so MM2 going to be cleaning up the back of Gauntlet. Meanwhile, Kuru taking on Ridley. This is going to be the final boss, and it's going to look like it's going to time out quite well, as MM2 is going to clear the back of Gauntlet and then immediately make their way into Lower Turian. Meanwhile, RKC still has a bit of Meridia left to clean up, but that's okay. Honestly, RKC and Kuru have all the time in the world, at least while MM2 is doing Turian. All right, this is one of the scariest rooms, really in any category. The back of Gauntlet here, particularly in Hondo, because it just comes so late. And if you misjudge where you are on this map and you fall down on one side, it is a pretty hefty time loss. I believe it's maybe the second worst time loss in Hondo. Other one being if you fall at Mickey Mouse. And there we have it. Everyone, we now have all bosses down, and if you just look at the beautifulness of this timing, it's just truly a spectacle to be had. MM2 going to be moving directly into Turian, and now it's just going to be an all-out clear fest for the other two runners. RKC going to clear out the rest of Meridia. Kuru going to clear out the rest of Lower Norfair and the rest of Bubble Mountain. And there were some questions in chat about how does escaping work. And you'll see that once the escape sequence is activated, you'll see a timer on every runner's screen, and they just have to get back to the ship before that timer's up. But here's the thing. This is not over. You know, we had a very dangerous beginning, right? Where we had to share 100 health. And even when we were sharing 400 health, it's still very, very scary, because if you're, especially at 100 health, if everyone takes a couple hits back to back, you're dead. In the middle of the run, there's almost no spot that could really kill you, all right? We have tons of health, tons of ammo, tons of movement items. Not a lot of places can kill you. What we're about to move into is probably the most dangerous spot of this run, aside from the beginning, and that's Turian. Because there are spots in this run where things have to happen or you die. So, for example, MM2 is going to attempt a baby skip, but if they don't attempt it and they end up either missing it or not going for it, it's going to put all runners at 1 health and whatever's in their reserves. And that's a problem, because if we take hits or fall on acid or wherever we're at in the game, that's a problem, right? We do not want to take hits when the runner is getting attacked by baby, because that is just very dangerous. That's step 1. Step 2 is when the rainbow comes, or when you get the hyper beam. Okay, 3 possibilities to kill your run in Turian alone. That's baby Metroid, taking too many hits after you get. Hold on, we're actually going to see if Ness can pull off this baby skip. Ooh, gets snagged. Okay, so now what Ness is doing right now, Ness is telling everyone, be careful, okay? Because, oh my goodness. Okay, it's fine. We're good. Okay, it's fine. That's literally what I said, though, is if we get a baby and someone falls in acid whilst someone else is taking hits, all that's registering at once. Okay? That all registers at the same time. And that, oh my goodness, that could be very dangerous. Okay, that's one. That's one of 3 possible kill your run style issues that can happen. Get a full refill, that's fine. The 2 things that could happen at Mother Brain. 1, when so I believe MM2NES, I don't know if they're gonna bypass it for marathon safety, but MM2 might try to pull off a stand-up. Okay? And what you need to do in stand-up is you need to damage yourself. You need to have at least 700 health, and you're gonna need to damage yourself to go under 100. Now, if other people are taking damage or even healing, and you don't get under 100 in time, you are dead. And then the other thing that could happen is if you, in the moment, the frames as you're getting the hyper beam in between Mother Brain 2 and Mother Brain 3, you can actually crash the game if the other runners shoot as that's happening. So much conversations, well, so many conversations are happening in this moment in time to ensure that the runners do not crash or kill the game. So we'll see how this goes for MM2nescartridge here while Kuru clearing out Bubble Mountain, RKC finishing up the clearing on Meridia here, and is going to be heading and doing the, I believe there's still a few other items that RKC needs to pick up, but we're nearing, we got 95% of the items. This is going to be 96. So there are 4 items left in the game to pick up. Now, again, this needs to be finished before runners reach the ship. All right, so here we go. They're setting up. Okay, they're setting up for stand-up. They need to be very careful. Okay, they're under 100. They cannot take any hits. Wow, look at this. That. They have so much trust in each other, chat. Like, to pull off stand-up whilst everyone is running through enemies that could definitely kill them, that's pretty impressive. Now look at this. RKC is chilling here, waiting on that E-tank, because they definitely don't want to mess anything up here. But this is 99, and guess what? RKC's E-tank right there at Mama Turtle is the last and final item. I want to see an absolute wall of 100s when this is picked up. Let's just like flood 100 for hype for them pulling off 100%, but not yet. Now let's go 100. Let's go 100 items. That's it. Now we just need to finish the game. Kuru going to be heading to the ship. RKC going to be heading to the ship. MM2 going to be finishing off the final few hits here. And we're going to see a 3 escape. Look at that. Let's go. And this is going to be a really good time. They just, their PB again is a 33:20. So this is going to be within, I mean, for a marathon and the issues they had early on, it's not a bad pace at all. And there it is. 3 minutes on both sides. Wait. I take that back. Now we do 100. Wait, I can't count. What happened? Now it's 100. I was just testing you. I was testing you. You all, some of you passed. Yay. Okay, now we're in the escape sequence. Moving in. Ness has to actually go through the actual escape, whereas RKC and Kuru, they just have to, get to the ship themselves. 101. And look at this. We also have a high five by both RKC and Kuru here. I don't think we'll be saving the animals. And it doesn't matter when any of the runners, it's just the last runner that last runner on the ship. And just like that, a 33-58 100% co-op 3-person Super Metroid. GG Kuru, GG mm2nescartridge, GG rkctkc. Thank you guys so much for that splendid, truly awesome run. Again, not the easiest run from the beginning. A little bit easier in the middle and very Monka-esque at the end, but they pulled it off. No deaths. Fantastic. And they finished with a IGT of 21 minutes. So again, if this is something that interests you, which I'm sure it does, if this is the first time you're seeing this, this has been available for a few years now. It's an amazing program, and you can do it with any amount of runners, I think. I mean, it might break after a bit, but imagine doing a like 10-person 100%. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it'll be very hard to keep people alive early on, but I think it's something that could definitely be done. That was a great run. My name is Jay Chalk. I was your commentator. Thank you guys so much for inviting me on to do this commentary. I really appreciate it. You were all great. The runners were great. You're all great. And I hope everyone has a beautiful, fantastic, wonderful, super awesome Monday and an even better Tuesday and the rest of this week. And shout outs to SpeedGaming and SNES Super Stars Marathon. And I super hope that we have some more awesome runs as well. So do I call anyone? Do we do interviews for this, or do we just like say yeet and say goodbye? I'm not sure. I think it's a yeet and goodbye. All right. I love you guys. Stay awesome. And I will see you later. Yo, guess who's back? It's me. We're actually going to pull the runners in here for some talkie talks. All right, so here we go. Ayo, we got Kuru.
Hey, how's it going?
Ayo, we got mm2nes. And we got RKC. What's up, guys? How's it going?
That was